Confused public apology noises. Or retraction. Someone stated that they showed me that a channel had more than 10 videos on it. This was in reference to, but not necessarily under, a video where I explained that a set of postings from a very long time ago that had been re-uploaded and mirrored to many channels, I guess I didn't make that clear, had ended up with anywhere from a count of 1 to 10 videos, usually presented as part 1 and part 2 of a longer video, or a bunch of remixes and excerpts, sometimes done to avoid getting erased, or maybe to make it clearer, or whatever, or to cut out the parts that weren't really important, that were basically just exposition. So I made a claim or a statement in a video, I'm having trouble finding exactly where it is, where the channel has, quote, only 10 videos on it on a subject I'm debunking or talking about. The channel has many, many videos on it. I meant on that subject, or the actual only 10 videos. This is a mirror channel. The original channels that held the videos, and the original websites that held the original scripts, and the original databases that used to hold the blind uploads you used to be able to download as Word docs, they're all gone. So this brings up a problem. I can completely reconstruct what the original assertions by the original 2 or 3 people named were, or acknowledge that they may not even be the correct names, which is what I said in the video. I'm really not sure who made these assertions. It's attributed to somebody who's using a pen name from a movie or book, and the, quote, original statements are what people argue. And the original, if you're not aware of it, was that the United States could not be an independent country for insert set of reasons. And I explained that those are just things that people say because they're trying to get away with making some assertion on the net that has no practical value, and it's negated by the fact that, A, all of the explanations given don't cause a country to suddenly stop existing or to exist. Next, J, 2, every country that deals with the United States, unless they're trying to be complete assholes, acknowledges us as a sovereign state or country, as we commonly call it. In fact, the honorifics and fluffy language in a lot of treaties and discussions are designed to say, I acknowledge you as a country. Saying the United States also just refers to the general area. Saying America refers to North and South American continents. You have to be specific in your language sometimes. Sometimes it's done overtly to say, at all times when you communicate with the United States, you must acknowledge that they're a country. Russia has a policy like this, where when you communicate with them without actually including the honorifics, they assume you're just talking about the general area that is called Russia historically, which means you're not communicating with them correctly. If you say China to Chinese government, you have to say referencing their current borders, or even in some communications, whatever they're disputing that aren't part of their borders. So anyway, other than those things and many, many other things that disprove this, really, there isn't any evidence provided that's real that the United States is still a colony of Britain or something like that, or controlled by anybody. On a practical level, the United States is controlled by the population in it, and corporations and other things. That's another discussion that I've had very lengthy screaming matches with people over. A lot. But that doesn't negate the United States as a country, and it's an independent country, as much as any other country. It's a pretty low bar. Okay? But anyway, I referenced a channel that I saw 10 of the videos on that may or may not have originally been 2 or 3 videos that were really long, or even longer, and it's all edited, and finding out where all of this came from to find authenticity and original source material is nearly impossible. I gave up trying, I don't do this often, I gave up trying to dig up the documents because someone stored it on a document storage website, a lot like Dropbox, that had gone out of business so long ago there weren't any archives of the website, much less its contents. And that's where the original assertions came from. I can't debunk a person's original assertions if they're no longer available for comment and they didn't keep a backup copy. Everybody else kept archives or images of, but I can't confirm them, so I can't even discuss them. If someone says, I want you to go to freedomschool.whatever's website where they have all sorts of neo-Nazi propaganda right next to talking about how everybody's fluffy and happy and full of rainbow shit and unicorn farts. They really do have a really broad variety of crap there. And look at their uploads of it. They claim were accurate, but they didn't make an archive at the time. I can't do that. That isn't necessarily the assertion of the original source. I take everything with a block of salt with that case, or just don't even cover it. And it's not current argument. Most people who argue some bullshit about America not being anything other than a colony of Britain are citing totally different sources, or starting over with a source material the original person made a claim from. So I don't have to deal with them. But yes, actually, really, the bare estimate I could come up with is that there are only 10 videos existent on YouTube. Not just on the channel, just in general. But that's my best assessment. I found it chopped up and remixed as maybe 100 videos. Anyway, someone posted, the person tried to post what they thought was an entire copy of the YouTube channel containing all of the videos. Mostly, it seems, as a playlist. Grab a link to the address bar of the playlist so I can evaluate it. But what you copied was just the text of the playlist page, which was just a wall of text that got really jumbled up on my end because YouTube chose to interpret every carriage return, line feed, and bunny fart as some carriage. It came out as a Zalgo. Look up ZALGO text. I cut and pasted it and tried to interpret it, and eventually I'm like, okay, I mean, you may still see what you thought you posted, and probably did. I can't see shit. But again, I found a maximum of 10 consistently sized videos, various playlists, but a bunch of remixes that amount to 100 variations, or 100 total pseudo copies. And then there are channels that uploaded in other languages. The videos were apparently VHS recordings, or prepared computer-generated slideshows, or I don't know. I gave up trying to evaluate it because I couldn't even find out if these were parody videos, because they're so over the top that I found parody videos that were obviously parodies of the same work, reusing and recycling it. Fair use. So again, the person originally claimed you lied about something, and then you were wrong and then mentioned thousands of videos. As far as I can tell, there's only 10 actual videos. It's very common for that to happen. There's 100 variation on the FunVax video, which is fake as well, uploaded on the internet. People made variations of it to avoid getting banned from YouTube. And again, I have to reiterate, every time any source of authority attempts to censor information, especially by sophisticated means like this, it causes it to replicate. If you want people to ignore a bullshit story, explain that it's a bullshit story and show real verifiable proof of it. For instance, people claiming the American government is invalid do this usually as a stalling tactic in court, and it used to work, to keep themselves from having to be brought up on charges, sued, given tickets, all sorts of frivolous and non-frivolous reasons for calling into question even the idea that the court had jurisdiction. This has even been played up and made fun of on Law and Order TV show as someone in court saying, if I acknowledge by saying I'm pleading innocent or guilty, I'm acknowledging the authority of the court. I mean, it's total sovereign citizen horseshit. You don't get to do that. If you don't answer, the court assumes in your favor that you're claiming you're not guilty. You do not have the ability to give a non-answer. I'm remaining silent, or I will stand silent, or some other pseudo-term. Along with people claiming any flag that doesn't look the way they like proves that it's invalid, or that it's a maritime court when it's not, or that it's a Church of England court, or a Vatican. These are all arguments based on somebody at one time trying to avoid paying taxes, I said. But also, literally doing it as a legitimate method to stall the court to give themselves some time. You show up in court, you have no money. Bill Gates is suing you for making illegal and illicit copies of their $20 CD they hand out like candy through Dell computers to put with the Dell computers. It's a copy of the same disc. Well, you're illegally copying it because these are forgeries. Well, they're not forgeries, they're verbatim copies. Well, we don't care. Well, then if they're verbatim copies, then you're guilty of whatever. No. But in a courtroom, I'm not going to get enough time to do that. However, if I challenge the idea that Bill Gates isn't Darth Vader, I mean, it's bullshit, but it'll give me some time to get some paperwork together. One of the, railroading me through court, I'm going to jam up the works by flipping the track switch. It's for you. Love you, man. But yeah, someone said I was a liar, but didn't explain why. Now that they've explained I probably made a mistake, I don't know if I did. The trouble is, I mean it. I don't know if I made a mistake. There may be a channel somewhere that has every fucking video. I couldn't find it. I would love to find the unified field theorem of the crazy that was presented by that person authentically. I don't want to criticize somebody who made a claim in 2001 or 1990 that's not accurate about them. It's a game of telephone. That's why I won't criticize some people who make claims about 9/11 or whatever, or JFK. I can't find the original statement, so I'm only critiquing some game of telephone. I might be looking at something that's a lie about them. It's not acceptable to do that. I can address the claim, but I can't name the person who made the claim because I can't confirm it. It's one of the double-edged swords of being a fact checker and deciding you're going to, bow to the power of facts compel you. You can't do any of that stuff sometimes because you don't know if the claim is accurate as far as who made it. There are claims made by sovereign citizens that are deadpan, done in court. I can dig up the paperwork for it. Others they made claims about, or court cases, the paperwork's gone. Because courts sometimes lose paperwork. The conclusions are recorded, but sometimes the minutes of it or whatever aren't. The transcripts are not always available. News stories, same thing. I can look up a news video, and it'll crap out because it's on a website that broke the file. I can't evaluate it. People can make any claim they want to about missing information. And again, I'm going to be going ahead and doubling down on this. Every website that censors information, even inaccurate information, is doing a disservice to everybody. And honestly, yeah, I'm the kind of guy, immediately, if I really felt a need to it, I can't find it, but I would create a YouTube channel, on my honor, named after the person who originally made the claim from web sources, and do a video of me looking at the web sources and uploading the videos on the channel, so it would be an archive of everything they said, especially if it had been deleted by YouTube. I don't care that it's crazy or stupid or incendiary or whatever. It may even be considered harmless by today's standards. I mean, seriously, all the shit that's going on. Because it's a claim that's simply not true. It can be a misinterpretation. Flat earthers shouldn't be censored either. They're not hurting anybody. They're just telling you things that aren't factually correct. They make mistakes. And it's a learning tool. You can learn from other people's mistakes. And again, I'll say this again. Unless you know some specific characteristics, determining the earth is round is actually a big pain in the ass. It's a screaming cast iron bitch to prove the earth is round, much less what size it is. You'll do the experiment 6 months apart, you'll fuck it up, and suddenly the earth is only 200 miles across. I'm not kidding. You can make errors that big. It's 400 miles. But yeah, and by the way, just to piss off everybody, the claim that the universe or the earth is 6,000 years old or something like that is based on the minimum age of it, calculated by a religious, pious person who said the minimum age of the earth is 6,000 years at that time. I'm not kidding. This person was trying to create a time frame of the youngest age of the earth, not its maximum. This is like people misquoting the Bible. It really pisses me off. And you can look up the history of that. And you can look up his own writings. You have to look it up in the foreign language it was done in and go read it. And it's not PDF even today. Because the guy made a mistake, by the way, in some of the math. So, how do I critique that? I explained to you that you can go look it up and not provide a link. Yep, just like everybody else, I guess, right? Or I'm bullshitting you. Maybe you should look up Age of Earth, Christian, 6,000 years, error, or meme. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. No links below in the description. And again, the mistake I made wasn't a lie. I don't know if this is a complete explanation. And it was based on, I legit can only find what I would consider most likely 10 videos left from this person's work from years ago trying to prove the United States isn't really a country for some reason. And even that I can't really truly prove, although it's strongly indicated. Thank you for your critique and the explanation that it was most likely a mistake on my part, and